evening and more or less good night, everybody. It is now 7 p.m. here. Sorry, 7:27. It is later than I even thought. And today, you're all joining us for a very special edition of Vulcan Athletics. That is the number 6th ranked California Vulcans taking on the Concord Mountain Lions. I am Nate Kurtz, and joined alongside me is my very good friend, Hunter Garman. How are you doing tonight, Gunnar?
I'm doing pretty good. It's a good night for some basketball. If you stuck around during the early slate, you would have heard me earlier on the football broadcast. Tough loss there for the Vulcans, but excited to get underway here with some men's basketball.
Yeah, the PSAC championship game was today, and unfortunately, as you mentioned, the Vulcans were not able to pull it home. Trophy once again went golden to the Golden Bears of Kutztown University, and I think what would make this day a whole lot better is to see this number 6th ranked team in the nation take on these Mountain Lions, a MEC foe, and put up some good numbers. I don't know if I would definitely say we want a win or a loss here tonight. Let's try and be a little nice and impartial, but I think we just won a good game.
Yeah, we definitely won a good game. We had one in the previous slate where the women's, albeit it was whistle happy through the entire game, but hopefully this one is a little bit better, a little bit less whistles, but also still a really good game.
And still waiting on starting lineups here for tonight. Still have not been put out. As I say that now, we're getting announced here. Looks like the Vulcans are going to be running the lineup, that we've seen a little often so far this season. Only 4 games in. You're going to see number 1, Cam Pollock, the redshirted junior out of West Homestead, Pennsylvania. Was not able to play the majority of last year. Only got to see action in Shippensburg due to some hand action, but he's been able to see the court a lot so far this year. Joining him is going to be number 11, Keith Pallick. He's a senior out of Woodbine, New Jersey, and St. Augustine Prep. Keith Pallick going on a little bit of a tear so far to begin this year so far. Good for him. Had a little bit of injury-ridden last year as well, going alongside Polak, so wasn't able to see the court much, but definitely made up for it. Number 13, Donald Whitehead Jr., the junior out of Hermitage, Pennsylvania, seeing the court here. Has the most minutes so far on the team, averaging around 35 per game. Joining him is number 22, Caden Hanna, the senior out of Murraysville, Pennsylvania, and Franklin Regional. And also alongside him is going to be number 23, Antoine Arnett, the sophomore out of Summerdale, New Jersey, and Sterling High School. Wasn't able to see action in the first 2 games of the year, but was able to come on the court. Penn State Fayette, and I think that was a pretty big win. 115-76 was the score. Now these Vulcans are looking to take on the Mountain Lions, who last played Virginia Union. That was their first loss and only game of the year, 86-81. Coach Todd May in his 9th season is going to be looking for a pretty good matchup here tonight against Coach Danny Sankum in his 7th season.
Yeah, as you said, the Vulcans coming off that win, 115-76 versus Penn State Fayette. This is a lineup now we're looking at without Bryson Lucas. Played limited minutes against Penn State Fayette, but is absent today from the lineup due to an injury. So hopefully the Vulcans can get him back because he, last year, has proven vital for this team.
And action is going to be underway here as the draw is taken by the Mountain Lions. Basketball is back here for the men's side here at the Convocation Center. Corey Boston handling the ball at the point, motion coming in. Ball going down to Colin Tolbert. Tolbert down in the paint. Defense able to put in the work there. Pallick with the rebound. Wooden misses the shot. Whitehead now taking the ball up to midcourt.
It was a nice, strong rebound there by Pallick. Able to just bring it down and then give it to Whitehead to bring it up the court for the Vulcans.
Arnett on the wing now, taking the mid-range long jumper. Not going to be able to find it. Rebound taken down by Amari Smith, senior out of Huntington, West Virginia. Ball going up, and that is good. That is the 4 points here tonight, here for the Mountain Lions. Vulcans bringing it up the court again. Whitehead over to Polak on the wing. Arnett at the key, passes it over to Hanna. Hanna over to Pallick. Polak over to Arnett in the wing. Dumps it off to Pallick. Looks to size up his man. Passes it back up to the key. Polak with the move. Looks for the mid-range jumper. Goes for the contested shot, and he's going to get that. That will send him to the line. Not only will that tie the game, but with the opportunity to move up as well. And that'll be Colin Tolbert picking up the foul.
Good job by Polak there to just continue the play just to get the shot up and draw out the foul. And fortunately for California, the shot fell. Unfortunately for Concord, it fell.
And I'm going to hold off on saying what I want to say about Polak. And now I will say it, 100% from the free throw line so far this year, has yet to miss a shot.
Didn't want to jinx it.
No, absolutely did not want to jinx it. Boston going to pass the ball down to Wooden. Wooden over to the wing. Smith takes a three. That is no good. Rebounded by Polak. Now going to take the ball up himself. Looks over to the wing for Arnett. Arnett makes the move. Impressive in the paint, and that's going to be another bucket here for the Vulcans. 7-2 the score. 5-2, excuse me. Over to Boston. Boston now on the wing. Passed it over to Smith. Fakes the three-pointer. Back over to Boston. Down in the paint now. It's going to be an out-of-bounds call. Ball will stay here.
It's a good play by Arnett, but unfortunately wasn't really aware of where his feet was and stepped out of bounds, and it's going to stay Concord basketball.
Boston will be the one to take the ball out. Passes it out to Wooden. Wooden back to Boston. Shifty with it, trying to go in the lane for the layup. He's going to make it. That's Concord back on the board. 5-4 the score. Whitehead taking the ball up the court now at the top of the key. Over to Arnett on the wing. Arnett over to Hanna. Sort of a mishandle on the ball there, but finds it. Palick mishandles that ball, and that's going to be an ugly one. That's not going to be Tolbert up the court. Going in, but impressive defense by Hanna, and even more impressive play on the side of the Mountain Lions. Mary Smith's going to keep the ball in bounds for the opportunity to score again, and Donald Whitehead Jr. is going to find his first foul of the night and send the Mountain Lions to the line.
It was impressive by the Mountain Lions in order to just keep that play alive, able to keep the ball in bounds, try and get those points. As that first one falls, tying this game for now.
And that one will be good as well. Concord takes the lead 6-5 here, 17:30 left in the first. The last meeting between these two teams was a very long time ago, 2018. Cal lost that one 63-80 to score. As Cam Polak goes in for the layup. Obviously, this program has come a very long way since Coach Danny Sankum has entered his tenure at the program here. That's going to be a pull-up jumper. Not going to make it. Arnett with the rebound. Passes it up court to Whitehead. Sizes up the defense. Moving in through the middle of the court. Over to Arnett. Bit of a Euro step. Impressive layup move. Will land the bucket.
What a take there by Arnett. Able to, as you said, hit him with the Euro step and get that layup.
The wing now is Boston. Boston down to Diop. Diop, I have not mentioned him yet. The star center here and centerpiece to this Mountain Lion team. Dakar, Senegal. Jumper no good from Wooden. Rebounded now. Taken up the court by Polak on the wing. Back to Palick. Palick driving in the lane. Is going to find the layup. 11-6 now the score. The Mountain Lions going to keep fast pace here and move it up the court.
That was a nice take by Palick, using his big frame just to keep the ball up out of reach and put it up for the easy two.
Diop trying to cross-court pass it, didn't find it. That's going to be Boston for the three-pointer. That's good. Coach Sankum not happy with the defense on that play.
No, not at all, but that was a nice shot there. Can't speak today by Diop.
No, it's okay. Everybody's going to take a shot at one point in their life. Palick now with the ball. Over to Arnett on the wing. Fakes the three. Going to try and drive in the lane. Wanted the foul. Did not find it, but that's now going to lead to the Mountain Lions moving up the ball. And an awkward sequence there as Palick's going to go down. That's going to be a missed three-pointer on the side of the Mountain Lions. Wooden didn't have it. A bit of an awkward sequence. Polak now at the key. Makes a move. Drives into the lane. Not able to make the layup, but is able to draw the foul out of the Mountain Lions side. That's going to send us here into, I believe, our first media timeout here.
Foul number 4, Jordan Wooden, his first, team second. 16-minute media.
That is correct. It is the first media timeout.
Yep, we're going to keep it here. Yeah, as you said, that one sequence was a little bit weird, Keith, falling to the ground, but no foul, no whistle, no nothing they're called, and then the missed three, just kind of that whole sequence was just a little weird in general. definitely something that, like, you see Keith fall like that, you would think, like, oh, there's going to be some kind of foul either on him or on the offensive player for a charge, but nothing was called.
No, and I think that's kind of in contrast to what we've seen so far. If you watch the women's game here on CUTV Sports and the PSAC Digital Sports Network, bit of a rough game in the foul department, but so you've seen so far here in 5 minutes of play, it's been sort of the opposite of that. Somewhat of a clean game here so far, even though Keith Powell, I think, wanted to get himself a bit of a foul. It is nice, though, to see Keith back out on the floor. 22 points per game. Only 3 games here for reference, but senior out of St. Augustine Prep has put himself up a season. He's looking to return to that form he had in his sophomore year, where he was that sort of de facto leader that the team had. They didn't have Zion Collins as he was out, and Jermaine Hall Jr. had to step up as well. Two legends of the program both entered the history books last season, along as KJ McClurg as well. Fortunately, though, KJ McClurg is not able to join this number 6 ranked team nationally, as he's moved on to Longwood in Division I. He's had himself a pretty good season so far, averaging around 14 points per game. As we are now back, as Pollock is going to go to the free throw line.
Camp Pollock at the line, 2 shots.
And as announced here in the arena, it will be 2 shots for him. First one will land. 12-9 and even 3 points. Not even, that is odd. If you've ever been on these broadcasts with me, I've made it very apparent I'm not much of a math person. And it is very clear here that it was not going to be an even score as Pollock misses, 12-9. Boston now moving the ball up.
Yeah, it's his first miss of the season in terms of free throws. As you said before, he was perfect up until that point.
Smith now sizing up the defense, goes in for the layup. He'll find that, and I'll keep this game competitive as Whitehead's going to quickly move the ball up to midcourt now.
Yeah, it was a nice take by Amari Smith. Able to size up the defense, find the lane, take the shot, and falls.
Arnett had a bit of trouble with the ball. He's going to move it over to Palak. Can hand it off to Whitehead. Whitehead now. Tough defense being played by Boston. Little time on the shot clock. Palak's going to heave one up. Not able to find anything. Diop, unfortunately, almost had that rebound in his grasp, but just edges the baseline. And unfortunately, that ball is going to head back over to the Vulcans.
Yeah, just unable to find his footing and ends up stepping out of bounds. Forcing the turn over to the Vulcans is Don. What a shot. Oh, my goodness. Donald Whitehead with the three-pointer. That was clean.
Yeah, one of the most efficient shooters on the team so far this year. 48% from the field, 47% from 3. That number has definitely just gone up after what we just saw there. Boston hands it down to Diop in the paint. Pressure coming in, though. That's going to be called a travel against Diop. Caden Hanna will check out, and we are going to see Dalman Alexander make his home debut for the season. Sophomore out of Northrop High School, averaging 9.3 points on the season on 80% from the field. As Whitehead will pick this action back up here in the Convocation Center. 15-11 is your score. Palak with the ball in the wing, looking for it, finds Whitehead open from the top of the key. Bounces right off, though, for the brick. Ball will end up in the back, hands of Boston. Boston over to Smith. Smith for 3. He too will miss. Foul under the basket from Archer. Now we'll hand the ball over to the Vulcans.
That's his first, team's 3rd.
That is the team's 3rd of the contest here so far. Coach May pretty silent for the most part. Obviously, it's in stark contrast to what you're looking at on the Vulcans bench. Alexander on the wing. Passes it over to Pollock. Pollock driving in. Goes in for the soft touch. Not able to find it, but goes in for his own rebound and puts it back up. That is another bucket for him tonight. So far, 8 points, excuse me.
You know what they say, never give up on the play, and that was a clear example there by Pollock.
And a turnover on the side of the Mountain Lions. Vulcans looking to take advantage of it. Not looking to push the pace, though. Pollock down to Palak in the paint. Palak takes the fadeaway jumper. That is good. Keith Palak extends the lead, 19-11. 13 minutes left here in the first half of play. Boston with the ball at the top of the key. Hands it over to Diop. Diop over to Wooden. Wooden back to Boston. Over to Smith. Fakes the 3. Not able to find it, though. Alexander lets off the gas a little bit. Ball gets passed around the key. Archer with it. Gets deflected by Pollock. Goes over the half-court line. 4 left on the shot clock, so this one's going to have to be a quick one. Not able to find anything. Bit of a mess under. Archer's going to put the ball back up from the rebound. And that will put Concord back on the board, 19-13.
A little bit of, I don't want to say defensive miscommunication, but a little bit of just kind of people not realizing where they are, but Concord being right place, right time to get that rebound and the shot up.
Ooh, and a bit of a rough sequence there. Surprised no foul was called. Alexander trying to go for the dunk, not able to find it. Diop played some hard defense. That's going to be a quick pass over to the wing. And it's going to be a travel. Smith wanted to go up for the dunk there. Put some momentum in this, as we are now going to see the home debut of freshman Jordan Buchanan at Pensacola, Florida, and Robert Taft, Ohio.
I don't think that was a travel. I think he actually stepped out of bounds there as he went to drive.
It'll be Whitehead on the court now. Over to Pollock. Over to Palick. Over to Whitehead as he hands it off. Whitehead driving in, not able to find anything. Kicks it out to Palick. Fakes the 3. Bit of a dribble move. Goes back in for it. Loses the ball, though. Boston now on a breakaway of his own. Buchanan plays tough defense. Gets enough contact to draw the foul. And that will send the Mountain Lions to the line following a timeout.
Foul number 12, Jordan Buchanan. That's his first, team second. Media timeout.
We're going to send it to a commercial. We'll be right back right here on CUTV, CUTV Sports 1, and the PSAC Digital Network.
Coach Danny Sancombe and the Vulcans men's basketball is ready to take the conference and the nation by storm this season. A non-conference schedule that starts on November 8th is followed by the PSAC West play in January. Pack the Convocation Center with 13 home games featuring non-conference foes such as Concord, Lincoln, and Wilmington, as well as conference opponents IUP, Gannon, Slippery Rock, Clarion, Edinboro, Seton Hill, and Pitt Johnstown. Follow Cal Vulcans for the all-up-to-date schedule. Catch all the games on YouTube with CUTV Sports 1 and also the PSAC Digital Network.
If you're buzzed and doing this to make yourself feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive.
Welcome back, everybody, into the Convocation Center here for the contest between the Concord University Mountain Lions and the number 6th ranked team nationally, the California Pennsylvania Vulcans. I am Nate Kurtz. Joined alongside me is Hunter Garman. So far, been a pretty good game, pretty close. Nothing too fancy nor too dull. As Corey Boston goes to take his free throws, looking ahead in the schedule. Women's team is going to be traveling on Monday, the 18th, to play Fairmont State in West Virginia. The next day on that Tuesday, the 19th, men's basketball will be playing Lincoln, and that is at home. You can catch us here on the PSAC Digital Sports Network. And later that week, on the 22nd, both the men's and women's team will be playing against Millersville in a doubleheader back-to-back as Keith Palick going to hit the 3 and extend the lead 22-16.
Yeah, that was a nice three-pointer by Keith Palick. Really, no one was there to guard him. Just puts it up, and it just falls beautifully.
It's a good part of his game to see back there as well. Something he was so good at in his time here, has been able to find that 3-ball. This 3-ball here is going to be airballed on the side of Craig Gilbert, freshman out of Grove City, Ohio. Pollock kicks it out to Buchanan. Buchanan for 3, not able to find it, but Alexander goes in for the Hail Mary catch, able to recover it. Whitehead from 3. And that one is good. 25-16 is the score. Donald Whitehead has been able to put himself on a run.
Just another beautiful three-pointer there by Donald Whitehead. You said in the first sequence about their coach being relatively quiet. Well, now that's not happening now, as he's a little bit livid.
And the whistle will go, and I believe this is going to be for Corey Boston. As the athletic trainers come over, I believe there's a cut and or some sort of blood. Normally that needs to be handled. Players can go on the court.
It was an eye contact that fell out.
There's an eye contact, sorry. Thank you for Gary Smith and Braxton Turner, our beautiful crew here, for pointing that out to me. I was not able to see that. Will be John Gabbert coming into the game. Shot goes up, will be good.
Jordan Wooden, 2 points.
Jordan Wooden finds the bucket, 25-18. Donald Whitehead takes it up near side on the wing. Easily able to beat his man. Goes in for the layup, but the block coming in from Smith. Good effort to keep the ball in by Lambert. Or Lambert, excuse me. I think I might have called him Gabbert. Don't know if I'm correct there. Gilbert takes the three, not able to find it. Bit of confusion grabbing the rebound. Buchanan comes down with it, sends it to Whitehead. Whitehead with the ball on the wing. Whitehead drives in, takes the mid-range jumper. That one bounces, not in his favor. That ball will go to the Mountain Lions.
Yeah, just didn't have the shooter's touch there a little bit as it falls. No good, and there's a nice three-pointer there. Doesn't fall, unfortunately.
Smith takes the contested one as Keith Pallick going to be the one taking the ball up. Over to Buchanan for three. Takes the moving jumper, not able to find it. Hasn't been able to quite find himself on the board yet. So now Lambert moves the ball up. Looks for a man to pass to. It's out to Wooden. Wooden moves it over to the corner. Lambert again with it, drives in, goes for the layup. Unfortunately not able to find the bounce he wants, and that goes to Alexander for the rebound.
It's a good take there, just didn't fall.
Pollock going to take the foul. Fancy move there with the hands to try and keep possession of it, but is going to end up taking the foul.
Foul number 5, Amari Smith, his first, team fourth.
That will be Amari Smith taking it, senior out of Huntington, West Virginia. A few subs looking to come in here as well after this first shot. That first shot will be good. It'll be number 10 and number 12 on the side of the Mountain Lions. Number 10, Josiah Rickards, and number 12, Ken Saley coming in, the freshman and junior respectively. On the side of the Vulcans, I believe that'll be Caden Hanna coming back into the game. Pollock will make the jumper, and he will go out of the game. And now another home debut for a freshman. Number 5, Keandre DeShields. Will be making his home debut here at the Convocation Center. Local product out of Laurel Highlands. As Lambert has the ball now on the wing. Back over to Saley. Saley over to Smith. Smith now going in for it. The foul will be called against Keandre DeShields. Had to sing his praises just for him to commit a foul this early on. And that will send Smith to the line.
And sometimes that happens. You say the praises of the freshmen for their debut, and then they do something. They hit the foul or something like that. It happens, but, you know back to the game.
If John Safe were on the microphone, he would normally say something quite profound and philosophical. Unfortunately, John Safe is not here. So instead, in his wake, I shall try and say something smart. Time is linear, and everything happens for a reason.
There you go.
If his home debut starts with a foul, maybe it's the start to an amazing career.
Who knows? Well, I'll just have to see.
Whitehead crosses over the midcourt line. Over halfway through now, 27-19 the score. Donald Whitehead sneaks his way through the defense, find himself a bucket.
Donald Whitehead with a nice finger roll for the two.
Smith now on the wing. Picked up by Alexander. Going to be an off-the-ball foul. I believe that one's going to go in Caden Hanna.
Foul number 22, Caden Hanna, his first, team fourth.
Looks like my brilliant observation skills come into use. For all the ladies out there, that was a complete lie. I'm terrible. But hey, back into the game here. Boston will have the ball. Outbounds it. Tolbert on the wing. Tolbert trying to put it down to Diop. Diop will have it, guarded by Alexander. Tries to take his man, looks for the double team, but beautiful pass on Diop's part. Fortunately, Vulcans are going to commit another foul. I believe this one may be going against Keandre DeShields.
No, it's going to go against Buchanan.
Go against Buchanan, though.
Excuse
me.
2 shots.
That's Buchanan's second already on the night. That first shot is good.
Arnett going to check back into the game now for Buchanan. Coach Sankum intelligently just going to let Buchanan sit down for a bit. Not risk taking any more fouls here as we're only halfway through the first. 9-point game. Alexander almost stepped out of bounds on the rebound. We'll hand it back over to the Don. Over to Hannah on the wing. Back to DeShields. DeShields over to Arnett. Arnett back up to Alexander, who kicks it to Hannah. Hannah driving in, tries to spin. Jumper no good. Will be rebounded by Diop and goes over to Boston. Boston with the ball. Kicks it over to the wing, down to Diop. Diop able to beat Hannah. Under the basket, layup will be good. 29-22 is the score here. 7:52 left in the first half. First points of the night for Diop. So Arnett will kick the ball out to Alexander and over to Hannah. Hands it off to Whitehead. Looks for something, cannot find it, but does find Caden Hannah. The Don at the top of the key. Calls for the screen. Does not take it, though. Opts to kick it out to Caden Hannah for three. No good, but Keandre DeShields fights for the rebound, bounces it off the defender, goes to Arnett, loses it, and now moving the ball up is Colin Tolbert.
Yeah, I think Arnett was looking for a foul there. Doesn't get anything, no whistle, no nothing.
A bit of a messy possession there. Whitehead loses the ball, and unfortunately for him, Colin Tolbert will capitalize on that mistake. And Concord finding themselves in a solid little run here. 29-24 the score. Arnett with the ball in the wing.
Yeah, Concord right now on a 5-0 run. Vulcan's looking to just kind of disrupt it.
Dalman Alexander, I think, wanted the foul on that deep midi, but did not find it. Instead, it will be Concord taking the ball the other way. Bit of a messy possession. Diving for the ball as Arnett will not find it. Now sort of create a bit of a mismatch in defenders here. As the switch will come in, Donald Whitehead will end his way back over to Corey Boston. Both of them 5'10". So, for once, Donald Whitehead Jr. will have an even matchup size-wise.
We're going to keep it here for the time being. Those last few possessions for both teams, not really the cleanest possessions in the world. I mean, you had Don thought he was going to have a nice fast break, but Tolbert was right there, just stole it from him and got the easy layup. But just overall, these last few possessions just kind of been a little bit sloppy. Immediate timeout there to just kind of, hopefully, Coach Sankum can talk over with his guys, just calm everybody down, get back into the rhythm that they had at the start of the game, and therefore, pick up some extra points. But yeah, Concord on a 5-0 run. California looking to try and just break up this run a little bit, get back to a comfortable lead. I mean, yeah, they're still up by 5, but, anything goes at this point. It's 6:23 remaining in this first half.
Statistically, California so far doing a pretty good job at keeping themselves in the game. Only a 5-point difference here, but 11 for 23 on field goals made, and that is 47% on the side of the Vulcans. 39% for Concord, making 9 of 23 from the three-point line. Unfortunately, Concord has not found much luck. 1 for 7 for the Vulcans. They have found 3 for 7, so puts them at a solid 42.9. We will find ourselves back into the glorious and beautiful game of basketball here at the Convocation Center in California, Pennsylvania. Caden Hannah will inbound the ball to Donald Whitehead Jr., who will take it up the court. Unless something majorly disastrous happens and he loses the ball. But he does not. Donald Whitehead Jr., in fact, actually gets that ball over to Caden Hannah, who goes to Arnett, who then goes to Keith Palak in the paint, who goes up for the shot. Not able to find it. Wanted the foul, but Colin Tolbert gets it. He's now bringing it up. Wants the fast-paced play. Brings it over to Diop in the mismatch. Will draw the foul out. Ball will stay down here. It'll be against Cam Polak, his first foul of the night.
Yeah, that's the team's 6th foul now, so definitely going to be starting, well, not starting bonus yet. Still got a little bit yet till that point, but still definitely something to watch because California was doing pretty well at the start of this half, only keeping themselves to about 2 fouls to Concord's 4, but now they're up to 6.
Polak, who did commit that foul, averaging 14 points so far this year. 35% and just an absolute mess at the bottom of the basket. Coach Sankum turning red. Boston takes the three-pointer. And that is 1, 2, 3 extra points added onto the board for the Mountain Lions. Worst case scenario for the Vulcans coming off of a free throw. That is 27-29 the score. Only a 2-point game. And a whistle has been blown. Believe that is going to be a coach's timeout. Or no, there's something on the court.
Yeah, they're gonna get timeout for some condensation or stuff on the court.
Sending big man Nick over to mop it up. 2-point game here at the Convocation Center. 5:41 left in this first half. 10 points for Cam Pollock leading the floor for the Vulcans. 11 points for Corey Boston leading the floor for the Mountain Lions. So look to the other side of the court. Cam Pollock will have the ball and then gives it over to the Don. Whitehead Jr. hands it off to Hanna. Dumps it to Palick in the paint. Sizes up his man. Dumps it over to Arnett. Not able to find it. Loses it, in fact. Ball goes over to Tolbert. Tolbert on the wing looking for the pass. Goes from Wooden over to Boston. Calling for the screen from Diop. Takes it. Goes for the three-pointer. That one is good. Concord now leading this game 30-29. 1-point deficit for the Vulcans.
It was just a nice shot there. Concord playing rather excellent defense here, able to just strip the basketball when they need to, get the blocks when they need to, not drawing the foul. And as I say that, there's a foul on Concord.
Rene Diop will take that foul. Will be his first of the game, I believe. Arnett will now go to the line. As mentioned, as I started this game, Antoine Arnett was not able to see action in the first 2 games of the year, only getting action a few days ago against Penn State Fayette. He will land the first one. Tie ball game now. Boubacar Gigo will come into the game. Sophomore from Cleveland, Ohio. .458, 31-30 the score. Boston will have the ball at the top of the key. Kicks it out to Tolbert. Tolbert with the three. 2-point deficit for the Vulcans. Whitehead with the ball now. Kicks it over to Arnett on the wing. Far side dumps it to Palick. Palick in the paint. Looks for the ball. Not able to find it. He wants that foul and is not finding it. Fake three. Kicks it back out to the wing. No good. Palick has the ball. Vulcan's going to keep pace here. Pollock with a quick moving three. Will not find it, though. The ball will be put back over in the hands of Tolbert.
Yeah, Pollock with the quick trigger finger there, trying to get a little bit of points back here as the clock winds down. Just unable to find that shot. And it gets back, as you said, in the hands of Tolbert, who's been on fire lately.
Wooden's probably going to be called there for the travel.
Yep, called for the travel. This is going to be the 4-minute. This is going to be the 4-minute media. We're going to send it to a commercial break. You're listening to CUTV, CUTV Sports 1, and the PSAC Digital Network.
The Vulcan women's basketball team looks to continue its run of excellence into the 2024 season. Put on your red and black and cheer on Coach Jess Strom and her team towards another run to the postseason. Pack the Convo for 14 home games for games against regional foes and the best the PSAC has to offer. Don't miss any information on the season by following Cal Vulcans on all social media accounts, and if you can't make it to the games, catch all the action on CUTV Sports 1 on YouTube and also the PSAC Digital Network.
1 in 10 kids vape. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Talk to your child about vaping today.
Welcome back, everybody, into the Convocation Center. Our partner, Hunter Garman, had to go run off to take a quick bathroom break, so unfortunately you are stuck with me for the time being. But that just means you get to hear my dulcet tones talk about the beautiful game of basketball. hockey for all of you here today. We have a pretty good game going here so far. 3:57 left on the clock, as it is a 33-31 game. Just as I say, my partner has left me. He is joining me right now. Welcome back, Hunter.
It's good to be back.
Hannah will inbound the ball to Whitehead. Whitehead will take the ball up the court, over to Arnett, who dumps it to Palick. Palick again in the paint looking for something. Not finding it, picks up his own rebound. 2 points for him. Ties the game up here, 33-33, even score. It's Boston, far side, gets the screen. Wants a little more though. Kicks it back over to Wooden. Wooden with the ball. Set over to Tolbert. Tolbert for three. Will not find it, but the rebound comes in. Foul off ball on Boubacar Gigo. Keith Palick picks up the foul. Will be his first of the night. And we'll send Gigo to the line.
It's going to send Gigo to the line. That shot bricks off the side and is rebounded by Palick.
Whitehead on the near side with the ball. Moving for Pollock, and will pick up the and one for the potential 4-point play. Cam Pollock, just as I jumble up my words, makes an amazing play. 13 points for him on the night. And that will send him to the free throw line. That will now bring Amari Smith check into the game. He'll be coming in for Tolbert, and he will. Tolbert has picked up 2 fouls now.
I mean, that was a heck of a shot by Pollock, able to just fire off the shot, draw the foul, and put in the bucket as he gets the 4-point play for California.
And the transfer from Westchester 2 years ago came renowned for his 3-point shooting. Didn't get much of it last year due to that aforementioned injury, but this year has picked up the pace here so far. With the losses of McClurg, Collins, and Hall Jr. It's messy play here. Boston loses the ball, goes to Palick. Palick loses the ball. Boston recovers on the baseline. Boston now grabbing at his arm.
Yeah, that was a little bit interesting as Keith brought down the ball and then all of a sudden it just shot upwards like it was from a cannon. Keith wanting a foul, but not going to get anything. The foul's going to go against Boston. As you said, he sits there, or he was sitting there grabbing at his arm. And Don is going to shoot a foul shot. Potentially two.
Whitehead Jr. to the free throw line, 91% on the season so far for him. Averaging around 4.6 assists per game. So with his 35 minutes on the court, he's not only being able to score the ball at an efficient rate, but also being able to hand it out and show some love to his teammates. So that'll send him up to 9 points on the night. Potential to send it to an even 10. An even 10 he shall. And that gives the Vulcans an uneven lead, 39-33. Boston with the ball at the top of the key, guarded by Whitehead. Will receive the screen from Gigo. Woodward back to Boston, quickly over to Smith. Smith in a bit of a jumble. I believe that's going to be a foul called on number 22, Caden Hanna.
Yeah, it's going to be foul number 8 for the team, and Caden Hanna's second, which sends Smith to the line.
And Hanna now going to have to come back out of the game and send in sophomore Dalman Alexander from Fort Wayne, Indiana, Northrop High School. 2:38 here left. That is now 39-34 the score. Smith will have a chance, big 35. Smith makes it good, 39-35 the score. Boubacar Gigo will now leave the game, but now entering is Rene Diop. Coming back in. As well as Cole Lambert, sneakily came in there. Ball over to Arnett on the near side corner. Screen by Alexander. Arnett takes the mid-range. Bounce, no good. Recovered on the side by Rickards. Diop now grabbing at his knee. And it is not good. It seems like he's not able to put any pressure on his left leg.
Yeah, he's hurting.
Looks like he'll just have enough strength on him to be able to walk off to the sideline. Those are the worst types of injuries, not the loud ones, but the quiet ones. As the athletic training staff for the side of California are going to come over, give him a bit of a checkup just to make sure he's okay.
Yeah, Diop, one of their star players on the defense, especially last year when they played Charleston in one of the first games of Division II March Madness.
Rickards on the far side over to Smith. Smith with the ball. Wants the open space, takes the step back three-pointer, will find it. That'll be 8 points on the night for Smith, and that will now be 38 points for the Mountain Lions. Whitehead taking the ball quickly for the mid-range. Will equalize it, 41 points for the Vulcans, 38 points for the Mountain Lions.
And a nice shooter's touch there from the Dawn, and Smith, a nice step-back three as well.
Ball is kicked out for three. That goes to Craig Gilbert. Not able to find it, though. Smith goes in for the layup. Enough contact, not enough for the foul. Whitehead far side, quickly moves up the court, looks for the layup, will find it. Donald Whitehead Jr. on himself a hot run. 2 points for him. As Lambert will now take the ball up court.
Yeah, Donald Whitehead racking himself up the points on a little tear here, up to 14 points on the night so far.
Smith on the near side wing. Drives into the corner. Alexander playing heavy on-ball defense. Smith is forced to kick it out to Lambert. Lambert now driving in, kicks it out to Rickards. Over to Gilbert for three. Again will not find it. No luck for him, but Smith rebounds it. No look pass from Smith. Not able to find anybody, though, so unfortunately the eyes would have been better used and suited for him there.
I mean, those are the drawbacks of no-look passes.
Oh, absolutely. They look absolutely beautiful on film, but unfortunately in game, if you don't land one, it's not going to look too pretty, as Lambert and Gilbert will come out, and I believe that is now Hugo and Boston coming back in. Pollock inbounds it to Whitehead. Over to Alexander on the near side wing. Back to Arnett. Arnett over to Pollock, 4-3. That is no good. Rebounded messily by Concord, and will not keep it, though. Enough contact for the rebound that Rickards was not able to hold on to it. Instead, actually punches it out. And instead, California will retain possession. 38 seconds on the clock, 20 on the shot clock. So the Mountain Lions likely to have another offensive possession before this half ends. Pollock with the inbound. Wants the paint play, not able to find it, though. Basket goes down. Alexander, hard rebound, not able to find it. Rickards from Boston. Layup is good. Clock still running.
Yeah, it was a nice take there. Good job by Cam Pollock, just playing straight up and not trying to swipe at the ball or anything, because they will call that if you try and swipe it. Even if you get a little bit of contact, you're more than likely to call that as a foul. But playing straight up was a good job there by Pollock.
Whitehead calls for the ISO and will then get the screen from Pollock. Goes for the last mid-range jumper of the quarter. That is good. That will send the Vulcans in to the second half with a 5-point lead. 45-40 is the score here between the Concord Mountain Lions and the California Vulcans. I am Nate Kurtz. You are watching the PSAC Digital Sports Network and CTV Sports 1.
Coach Danny Sancombe and the Vulcans men's basketball is ready to take the conference and the nation by storm this season. A non-conference schedule that starts on November 8th is followed by the PSAC West play in January. Pack the Convocation Center with 13 home games featuring non-conference foes such as Concord, Lincoln, and Wilmington, as well as conference opponents IUP, Gannon, Slippery Rock, Clarion, Edinboro, Seton Hill, and Pitt Johnstown. Follow Cal Vulcans for the all-up-to-date schedule. Catch all the games on YouTube with CTV Sports 1 and also the PSAC Digital Network.
If you're buzzed and doing this to make yourself feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive.
good night, everybody. I'm not leaving you. I am just pointing out the fact that it is now 8:23 here in California, Pennsylvania, as I get the head shake from my producer, Gary Smith, because, of course, why have creative freedom when you're talking? You are in the Convocation Center here currently, watching us here on CUTV Sports 1 and the PSAC Digital Sports Network, and what you are watching is a matchup of men's basketball between the number 6 ranked team, the California Vulcans of Pennsylvania, the Concord Mountain Lions of the MEC. I am Nate Kurtz. Joined alongside me is Hunter Garment. And Hunter, we're looking at a 45-40 game in favor of the Vulcans. 5 points. What have been your thoughts so far?
I mean, both teams have played, seeming like they both played, can't talk today as well. They both played really good basketball so far. There have been some controversial, I would say no calls, because, I mean, obviously, I don't have much to say about that, but the players and the coaches have pointed out some things that arguably should have potentially been a foul that weren't a foul, but you know what? We can't win everything. Just going over stats, both Concord and California have shot the same amount of field goals. California making 2 more than Concord at 16 of 35, which puts them at a 45.7% field goal percentage. Concord only hitting 14 of their 35. California shooting 4 of 10 for 3-pointers, where Concord's only shooting 5 of 15. And free throws, California nearly perfect at 90%, 9 for 10 on the night. Concord 7 for 12. California having 21 rebounds to Concord's 23. And in terms of turnovers, California actually securing the ball a little bit better, as they only have 7 turnovers to Concord's 8. So overall, it's been pretty even for these two teams, albeit there is a 5-point deficit, and that comes down to those foul shots and the 2 extra field goals made by California.
One of the most commonly said things about basketball is that it is most certainly a game of runs. And I think we've seen that here tonight. Concord had the second half on a ended the first half on a pretty good run themselves, putting this in a 5-point game as we will kick things back underway here. Donald Whitehead Jr., known commonly as the Don around the CUTV halls, kicks it over to Arnett on the wing.
They're going to say he stepped out.
No, it's going to be a foul here.
Okay.
We'll go against number 22, Rene Diop. It'll be his second. And immediately starting the second half off with a foul. Not very good on the side of the Mountain Lions, but Whitehead is going to inbound the ball. Throws it out to Polak. Creates separation, though, from Tolbert, excuse me. Polak loses the ball to Boston, who's going to quickly take it back up the court. Boston just going to slow it down, hands it over to Wooden. Hands it off to Boston. From the logo. Offense moving around. Smith has it now. Over to Wooden, over to Tolbert, and down to Diop. Diop guarded on ball by Palick. Hanna now moving in on him. Not able to find anything, but Amari Smith. Bit of a messy function going on underneath the Vulcan basket, but Mountain Lions are going to take advantage of it. Amari Smith will score. It's Donald Whitehead now with the ball at midcourt. Over to Arnett. Arnett with the move. Soft touch, no good. Will be rebounded by Colin Tolbert. With the ball on the wing. Tolbert looking for space, will not find it. Kicks it over to Smith. Smith over to Wooden. Kicks it out to Tolbert. Down to Diop. Diop will not find his pass, but Smith rebounds it on it. Over to Boston, kicks it over to Tolbert. There's a messy sequence here as Tolbert finds the ball again. Getting thrown around, Hanna finds it, kicks it over to Whitehead. Odd man rush. Whitehead will now just run it around, back to the top of the key. Get his offense going, kicks it out to Palick from the 3-point line, will not find it, rebounded by Boston. Things are going pretty quick here so far to start the second. Excuse me.
Yeah, things are going pretty quick. Everyone's seeming a little bit jumpy, just unable to secure things for, like California, unable to secure thing. That's going to be a kickball on Keith.
Palick the third will get the kickball. 3-point game here in the Convocation Center. And I would say beautiful sunny California, but it is in fact 8:28 p.m. Boston will send it out to Wooden. Wooden goes in for the lay, will not find it, but will end up picking up the foul. We'll go against Cam Polak, his second of the night. Cam's had himself a pretty good night here, 4 for 7 coming out of the half. puts him with the 14 points, along with 4 assists as well. Cam wasn't really known much for being able to put the ball around, but it's pretty good court vision here tonight. Wooden will lay in the first. Wooden attempts the second. That one is good. 1-point game here. 18 minutes and 5 seconds on the clock. As Whitehead moves the ball up. Coach Sankum screaming from the sidelines. Pollock took a bit of contact and was unable to hold the ball, but still has it. Hands it down to Pollock in the paint. Draws the foul. And will go to the free throw line. Not able to find many of those fouls in the first half, but is able to find it here in the second, and will send him the chance to extend the Vulcan lead past 1.
Yeah, Keith definitely happy to get that foul. As you said before, a lot of things weren't really called in the first half. As that first one goes down, another point for Keith, where that's his first free throw of the night. His second one up here is good.
Keith Pollock III, the senior out of Woodbine, New Jersey, and St. Augustine Prep, was able to find both free throws and extend the lead to 3. Smith has the ball at the top of the key, sends it over to Wooden. Wooden makes a move on Pollock, but not able to find anything. Ball wrangled up by Pollock. Surprised that was not called a jump ball. Whitehead with it now, on the wing, down to Hanna. Hanna in the paint against Diop, not finding anything. Coach Sankum not happy as Caden Hanna made a few too many steps with his feet. And that one will be handed back over to the Mountain Lions for their possession again.
It almost seemed initially that the first time he spun around, it would have been called a travel, but it wasn't. And then what looked like wasn't a travel was called a travel. So a little confusing on that one, but either way, it's back in the hands of the Mountain Lions.
And I think it's just nerves, and Smith trying to shake those nerves off. Not be able to, though. Misses the 3 as Whitehead will get the rebound. Will kick it back up court. Takes the mid-range jumper from the free throw line. Will not find it. It is rebounded by the Mountain Lions. Diop hands it. Boston kicks it out to Wooden. Wooden looking for the 3. Not take it, though. Goes down to the mismatch. Hanna knocks the ball out. Pollock knocks the ball out from Diop. No contact, but eventually, as soon as I say something, Diop does get fouled by number 11, Keith Pollock. That will be his second of the night. And that will send Diop to the line for a chance to cut this lead down a little bit for the Mountain Lions.
Yeah, I mean, good defense by Pollock and Hanna on that mismatch versus Diop. I mean, Diop is not exactly the smallest person on the team, listed at 6'8", 232. So he's a pretty big person, and Cam and Hanna able to hang with him as long as they did. You got to give them credit.
And one of the hallmarks of this Coach Sankum team and of his tenure have been the very tall, athletic guards. So you don't have anybody who has that sort of big frame to be able to guard him. But Keith Pollock has been doing a good job of it so far tonight. Speaking of Pollock, has the ball, guarded by Wooden. Makes the move on him, finds the lay-in, and a nice spin of the ball. Smith will take it in. As Boston is now down on the far side by the bench. Boston was grabbing at his arm earlier, if you remember, earlier in the game. The athletic training staff will come over. And it looks like, again, he's grabbing at his arm and or wrist. Coaching staff just wants to get him off the court. Number 1, George's Archer will come back into the game, the sophomore out of Virginia Beach, Virginia. Princess Anne will also inbound the ball. Inbounds the ball to Tolbert. Tolbert calls the screen in from Wooden. Will not take it, though. Will instead get it from Diop. Kicks it out the wing to Smith. Bit of a messy ball there. Diop will find it again. Triple teamed. Smith from the wing will find nothing. Rebound by Tolbert, then by Diop. That'll be a foul by Cam Pollock. That'll be his third. Coach Sankum have to think about maybe putting in another guard, and as soon as I say something, Jordan Buchanan stands up and will check in for Cam Pollock. 14 points on the night for him. Transfer from Westchester and product of West Homestead, Pennsylvania. As Wooden with the ball, hands it over to Archer, hands it off to Tolbert. Tolbert down to Archer, down to Diop in the paint, guarded by Palick. Loses the ball, excuse me. Tolbert picks it back up and is able to find a deep mid-range basket that cuts us down to a 1-point game. 15:45 left in the second. Hannah goes down. It's Palick at the top of the key. Again, looking for a move. Messy ball handling there. He's going to kick the ball out of bounds. That is going to send us to a media timeout here on CUTV Sports 1. And I think this has been a pretty interesting second half so far in regards that just been rather quick. And I don't want to say the word sloppy, but I'm going to say it. It's been rather sloppy.
I mean, yeah, that term does, I would agree, that term does apply a little bit. It's kind of just been sloppy on both teams. I mean, the one thing that definitely taken to note is the triple team on Renee Diop. You can see that he poses that much of a threat underneath the basket that they're even now deciding to triple team. But the problem with triple teaming is now you're going to leave at least two people open, as the case was there with Smith. At that moment in time, Smith was open and able to get the shot off. But yeah, I mean, down here right before the timeout, as you said, a little bit of sloppy ball handling and just kind of overall, I don't want to say lack of coordination, but it's just it kind of feels like it's been there. And it's a combination. I mean, a lot of it has to do with it's the first game at home. You know, you want to show out, you want to show up. I mean, you're number 6 ranked team in the nation, and honestly, these guys want to prove why. And it kind of seems like they're trying to overprove why they're the number 6 ranked team, and it's kind of like shooting themselves in the foot, where they're trying to be like, hey, we're really good at this, but at the same time, it's hurting them.
Absolutely, and I mean, expectations are always hard to deal with. I mean, I can't say that they're ever really easy, but this team, for a large part of last year, made a run into the round of 32, was ousted by Charleston on a last-second three, took their revenge in Game 1 of the season. Charleston, the preseason-ranked 11th team. And so far, they've lived up to these expectations, and even here tonight, 49-48 lead, have led up to it, but to your point, Concord, 5 for 17, 29% from the three-point line. I've not really found much. Tolbert with the ball. Kicks it over to Wooden, now the correct player. Down to Diop. Guarded by Palick. Demands the presence of Hannah as well. Will not find anything. Messy ball there. Diop goes again for it. Punched out by Arnett. Goes to Buchanan. And then to Donald Whitehead Jr. Whitehead Jr. now moving to the far side of the court, to the wing. Puts it down to Keith Palick. Kicks it instead back out to Whitehead. Whitehead taking the mid-range jumper. Bounce a few too many times. Not in the net, though. As quickly the ball moves up to Smith. Smith will go in. And the charge will be taken by Caden Hanna. Smith will not find anything in that possession.
Yeah, good job by Caden Hanna to just kind of hang in there, take the charge. Force the no basket and force the turnover in favor of the Vulcans.
Boubacar Gigo will come back in for Diop. Goes back to the bench. 2 fouls, 4 points on the night for him. Whitehead Jr. taking the ball up to the near side wing. Moves it over to Arnett. Dumps it down to Palick. In the paint, looking for something. Will not find it, though. Rebounded by Wooden, who then puts it over to Tolbert. Taking up the mantles of the ball handling duty as Boston's no longer in the game. Wooden moves it down to Gigo. Loses control of it. Hanna takes advantage of that, though. And the reach-in foul from Colin Tolbert. The near side prevented the odd man rush.
Foul number 3, Colin Tolbert, his third, team's 40.
His third of the game tonight. Coach May talking to the ref. Not too happy about that one. But as is life, things happen. And you keep moving forward. Learned that from the Disney movie, Meet the Robinsons. Great movie, by the way. Arnett has the ball on the wing. Get it knocked out. Coach Sankum not happy about that one. Gigo knocked it out. Now Arnett will inbound his own ball. 49-48 the score, 14:08 on the clock. Screen from Palick for Donald Whitehead Jr. Finds himself an easy path to a layup, and that will instead make the score 51-48. I just had to say something.
Well, you had to say something, and something good happened, so.
Maybe I just need to keep talking. Who knows? As Wooden has the ball. Sends it awkwardly over to Tolbert, but Tolbert able to take advantage of it. Nice defensive play by Caden Hanna, who's able to put his hands up in the air. Like he just doesn't care. Jordan Buchanan on the nice moving layup will find the 2 points again, 53-48.
Yeah, that was a nice look by Palick, seeing Buchanan take off for the basket, able to feed him the ball, and a nice take there by Buchanan.
Archer silently moved onto the net. Wooden has the ball, kicks it over to Smith, who's looking on the inside. Smith went for the soft land, did not find it. Instead, Tolbert tried something, found nothing, but instead picked up the foul. I believe that one went on Jordan Buchanan. That's his third.
We can see Caden Hanna not too comfortable right now walking towards the sideline. Definitely something you don't want to see for the Vulcans as Hanna goes out and the athletic training staff will take a look at him.
And the senior from Murraysville, Pennsylvania, and Franklin Regional, transferred from D3 2 years ago. Dalman Alexander comes into the game for him. Jordan Buchanan, sitting on 3 fouls, will stay in. So we have a pretty big lineup here out for the Vulcans. Antoine Arnett sitting at 6'6". Keith Palick III sitting at 6'8". Dalman Alexander at 6'8" as well. And a messy free throw. Defense by the Vulcans only proves fruitless. The foul is picked up. Unfortunately, you're going to see Corey Boston come back onto the court, was grabbing at his arm a few times, went down on the far side bench. A little worried for him for a while, but good enough to come back in the game, make an impact on the court. Whitehead will be matched up against him. Not for long, though, as he moves past the screen. Catches his own rebound on the miss. Foul coming in here. That will be against Tolbert, who will now have to come out of the game. And instead, I believe that's going to be Josiah Rickards coming back into the game. And I'm correct. One of the few times I have been correct. Well, if you're not honest with yourself, Hunter, what are you?
Exactly.
To err is human. And to err is to be a Vulcan. As Keith Palick now has it on the wing, sends it over to Dahlman. Alexander spins around. Palick taking the deep three. Why not? Does not find it, though. Unfortunately, cannot get it from that range. But now Rickards moves it up the court. Over to Wooden. Wanted it. Did not find it, though. Rickards going to take it, though. Nothing. As Whitehead grabs the rebound and moves it quickly up the court. Wants to take it himself. Hands it off to Palick. Nice pass from the Don over to Keith Palick III.
I don't think that was intended. I think Whitehead may have lost the basketball, but Keith Palick, right place, right time, pick it up, put it up for the layup.
Absolutely in. I mean, beautiful play on the Vulcans. Gives them a nice 6-point lead. 12 minutes, 24 seconds left. Wooden takes a three, will not find it. Donald Whitehead Jr. has been able to find a few rebounds so far, but this time, luck will not be on his side. Lady Luck instead decides to give him the old ring-a-ding-ding and will give him the foul. Oh, no, look at that, and I am wrong. You know, as soon as I think of something clever to say, I just look like an idiot because I get the call wrong. Hey, to err is human, I just said that. Diop comes back onto the court for Gigo. And Keith Palick will send the ball over to Donald Whitehead Jr. Product of Hermitage, Pennsylvania, and Hickory. Junior holds the ball at the logo as Coach Sankum directing his guys from the bench. Palick with the ball in the wing, sends that down to Arnett. Against the mismatch of Rickards with the muscle. Not able to find it first, grabs his own rebound, puts it back up. Antoine Arnett puts himself on the board.
Yeah, it was a perfectly timed jump there by Arnett, able to meet the ball as it's coming down at the top of his jump and able to just put it back up there for the easy two.
Boston now driving in, loses the ball. Palick picks it up. Bit of an odd man rush, tries to send it off to Arnett. Arnett finds it. Back-to-back bucket for him. And that will force the timeout on the side of the Mountain Lions. It'll be a coach's timeout.
I mean, Vulcans picking it up a little bit here on those two little runs, or those two little possessions. But a nice take by Keith, driving the bucket, able to find Arnett, just dump it off to him, Arnett with a nice take. Thought about going on the left side at first, but then brought it under for the right hand. And it was a good take, and the bucket fell.
And I know it was said a few years ago, we need a replacement for Phil Alston as he left to go to Division I Loyola Chicago. Now in the G League, under the Milwaukee Bucks organization. It was hard to replace a player like that who was able to knock down the roof and send such a message. But as our producer Gary Smith said not too long ago, I think Antoine Arnett could be a perfect replacement, could emulate that style that you got perfectly. And 6'6" forward, 210 sophomore out of Summerdale, New Jersey, Sterling High School. And a former classmate of mine in intro to psychology under Darla Timbo. Fun little factoid of my life there. Being able to find himself on the board here tonight. 10 points for him as the Vulcans now hold a 10-point lead with 11 minutes and 35 seconds left.
As the Vulcans start to pull away from this here, looking to keep it going here as they also are in the bonus as well. As we get ready to come out of the timeout. It's going to be Concord basketball on the left side.
Same lineup out for the Vulcans. Things change a bit for the Mountain Lions. Lambert now handles the ball with Rickards on the wing. Over to Gilbert. Gilbert 0 for 4 on the night. Sends it down to Diop in the paint. He'll be forced into the travel by Dalman Alexander.
And this is going to be our media timeout. We're going to send it to a commercial break. You're listening to CUTV, CUTV Sports 1 and the PSAC Digital Network. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Coach Danny Sancombe and the Vulcans men's basketball is ready to take the conference and the nation by storm this season. A non-conference schedule that starts on November 8th is followed by the PSAC West play in January. Pack the Convocation Center with 13 home games featuring non-conference foes such as Concord, Lincoln, and Wilmington, as well as conference opponents IUP, Gannon, Slippery Rock, Clarion, Edinboro, Seton Hill, and Pitt Johnstown. Follow Cal Vulcans for the all-up-to-date schedule. Catch all the games on YouTube with CTV Sports 1 and also the PSAC Digital Network.
If you're buzzed and doing this to make yourself feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive.
Good evening, everybody. Well, it's actually good night. I already said that line 3 times tonight, and then I mess it up and go back on it. I hope you're all having a wonderful evening and a wonderful weekend here so far. It is only a Saturday, so unfortunately you only do get one more day of your weekend, but I hope your night is at least ended pretty spectacularly because you're watching a pretty good basketball game here, in my opinion. 59-49 the score. California leads Concord University Mountain Lions with 11 minutes and 20 seconds left, so fortunately for everybody at home and for all those on the road listening, got a pretty decent amount of time left in this basketball contest. Dalman Alexander is going to inbound it to the Don, also known as Donald Whitehead Jr. In fact, actually, I think we can legally now change his name to the Don. I think that would make it a lot easier, would it not?
I think so, too. A fan favorite here at the CUTV Media Suite is Donald Whitehead. Nice block there. I believe that was Gilbert denying Keith Pallick that layup.
And finally, the big men of the Concord University Mountain Lions able to make an impact on the court. I say finally as if they haven't been playing all night. Whitehead throws it out to Pallick on the wing. Bonnie's on the floor. No words. I actually am stumbling over myself genuinely because I don't know what I just witnessed.
I didn't even really see what happened underneath. I was more concerned about where the ball was, and I happened to look over and see like half of both teams on the floor.
Now, the large crowd here in the Convocation Center letting their opinions be heard. Unfortunately, though, it will not change anything as Donald Whitehead Jr. picks up his second foul of the contest. Whitehead Jr., though, will pick up Lambert as he passes the half-court line. Lambert, freshman from Pineville, West Virginia, will then take the 3 ball and will hit it. cuts this down to a 7-point game, as the Vulcans will now take over possession again.
Yeah, that was a nice, clean three-pointer by Lambert. Able to just get up, get the shot off, and it was just nice, clean. No rim needed. Nothing but net, as we say.
And a beautiful moving pass. Buchanan able to find the moving hands of Keith Palak III. And Lambert shoots it over to Archer on the wing. Archer wanted to make a bit of room for himself. Could not find it, though. Lambert with the ball. Top of the key. Moves in. Tries to send it down to Gigo, sorry. Will not find it. Sort of meshed names there for a second. Buchanan will take the three. And finally, he'll hit tonight. Ice in his veins.
That was just clean.
64 to 52. 9 minutes and 50 seconds left here. Archer with the ball. Wants the three. Will take it. Will he find it? Yes, he will. Responds nicely to the Jordan Buchanan three.
That was a nice, clean shot by Georges Archer.
As Gilbert and Rickards will come out of the game. Instead comes in Wooden and Holbert. Both have seen heavy action here tonight. Smith is also going to sub in there. Didn't know if they'd let him. They did. Lambert will come off the court.
It's Holbert coming back in. Definitely has to watch a little bit. He's up to 4 fouls. Fouling out requires 6, so staring a little bit. Is it still 5? It is 5. Okay, I was corrected by our advisor.
Arnett with the ball under the basket. Pushes a little too hard on Smith.
Yep.
And awkward play. But fortune favors the Mountain Lions currently. Goes against Antoine Arnett. Picks up his first of the night. Mop having to come out here is just make sure that these players are not slipping on any sort of substances. Well, I mean, I wouldn't want to slip on sweat. Didn't want to say it, but Tolbert now has the ball on the near side wing. Sends it over to Archer at the top of the key. Will he have it? No, he will not. Instead, Keith Palak finds it and sends it over to Donald Whitehead Jr., who picks up the pace, speeding in to the offensive zone. Bit of contact by Archer. The refs will call this California ball. 23 seconds on the shot clock, 9:15 on the game. Whitehead Jr. to inbound the ball. Once Palak instead gives it to Alexander. Spin around jumper, will find it in the paint. Dalman on the board now. Quick ball movement though, Smith with it. Sends it over to Wooden. Tolbert, Archer in the corner. Kicks it back over. Tolbert again. Fakes it. Takes it this time. Will find nothing. Said go to Gigo. Messi in the paint. Normally he's on the pitch, but this time he's under the basket. Whitehead gets the ball now. On the wing, takes the deep three. Steps it back. Gets a bit of contact. Nothing will be called. And a bit messy in the paint. But the Mountain Lions recover. Wooden over to Archer in the corner. Takes the three, and he will find 1, 2, 3 more points to add on to the board. 58-66 the score.
That was just another clean shot by Georges Archer, especially from the wing. Those ones in the corner are hard to do because you have no backboard to, 1, gauge where you're at, and 2, also just assist in putting the basketball through the hoop. So those shots from the corner are ever so more impressive.
I'm no athletic demon, but I got 1 3-point contest in high school. Could not make it past the corner 3 portion of it because I'm no shooter. But fortunately, though, both these teams have been able to find themselves from 3 as Tolbert moves in, loses the ball. Alexander finds himself on the ground. Ball will be retained for the Vulcans as Cam Polak will now check in. California will call timeout. We are now in a 66 to 58 point game. 7 minutes and 51 seconds on the clock. Decent amount of scoring going on here tonight.
Yeah, they're going to say Keith called the timeout to avoid the jump ball, which on one end is smart. The other end, you don't have that timeout for later on in the half when you may potentially need it.
Keith Palak up to 10 rebounds on the night. As long as 17 points as well, so already in double-double territory. Sorry, with the double-double. Still need a bit more to get that triple-double, but unfortunately for him, doesn't look like he'll touch that anytime soon because the Vulcans are in a very tight contest against these Mountain Lions. These Concord Mountain Lions played very well so far here tonight. Corey Boston leads the scoring for them, 14 points, 3 steals, 4 rebounds for him. Perfect from 3. The team, though, 8 for 22, shooting 36%. Vulcans 5 for 14, 35%. So, stat board has been relatively large here tonight. Just a very, I don't want to say back and forth game, but I say more a game of runs that has favored fortune most for these Vulcans.
As we come out of the timeout here, it's going to be Vulcan basketball, moving right to left as we see it.
As I get a dirty look from wonderful camera operator Noah Turner. I say wonderful because she's next to me, but if we were in private, I would say meaner things. Jokingly, of course, but Cam Pollock will not say anything mean because he has the ball right now. He's so nice, though. He gives it over to Keith Palak, who instead gives it back to him now. It's Pollock with a moving jumper. Smooth from him. Has not missed any action sitting on the bench. He's put himself up to 16 points.
Yeah, that was smooth. Call Cam a smooth operator with that one. He's able to go up, get the points. As that shot just falls just off the front of the iron from Archer.
Good ball movement. Finds Archer. Fortune does not favor him tonight. He misses that one. Vulcans instead get it. Keith Palak with the ball now. Wants Cam Pollock. Who wanted the 3. Will not find it. Instead gives it to Keith Palak, who wants the 3. He, too, will not find it. Is now rebounded and handed over to Smith. Smith on the far side wing. Looking for anybody. Will only find Wooden. Wooden pulls. Does not pull anything. Instead, rebounded and given over to Donald Whitehead Jr. Whitehead with the ball. Screen from Palak comes in. Whitehead's going to make the move. Will find the basket and one. That will send him to 20 points on the night. The potential for 21. California 70. Concord 58.
Team 7, bucket is good. Donald Whitehead at the line. One shot.
Yeah, Donald Whitehead with a nice finger roll layup, able to draw out the foul. Will put him at the line to potentially get that all-magical three-point play.
Boston will check in for Smith, who's out of the game. As Whitehead Jr. will make it. 21 points on the night for him. As Tolbert will now move the ball onto the near side wing. Moves to far side, kicks it over to Wooden. Wooden with the ball. Screen from Diop. Will take the screen 3. Will not find it, though. The rebound by Palak. Ball slowed down. No fast break for them. Instead, they will get a slow push up the court. Movement coming in from Caden Hanna. As Donald Whitehead Jr. isolates the court. Screen from Alexander. Gets the mismatch. Moves the ball. Gets it back. But Donald Whitehead Jr. finds himself enough space for a mid-range jumper. And the Don finds himself his lit cigar. 23 points on the night for him. 2 fouls to go along with it. But no worries for him or this Vulcan squad. As Boston with the ball on the wing. I'd like to see him try and get something going. He's been one of the more efficient players for them. As he tries the nice lay-in. Will not find anything, though. Put back attempt, no good. Foul coming in. Maybe a kickball, cannot tell. Either way, it is California possession.
It's going to be a foul as Keith goes to the line. That's Tolbert's 5th foul of the night.
Yeah, Tolbert will pick up his 5th, and so in his wake will come Josiah Rickards. Freshman, 6'3" guard, 170 pounds out of Chesapeake, Virginia.
Keith Palak at the line, 1-1.
Keith Palak, not in the double bonus. Only take the one shot, makes it, gets another, misses it, will not have that chance. But he will. Keith Palak III makes his first shot. will have the opportunity to double up.
It's Holber before going out. 10 points on the night, 8 rebounds, nearly that double-double. But fortunately, ended up with the magical 5 fouls, which will send him out of the game for the remaining 5 minutes.
Ball rolls in for Pollock, gets both. 75-58 the score. Concord. Ball movement not finding much with Wooden, sending it down to Diop. Double teamed by Whitehead and Pollock. Too much contact. Beautiful reaction by Coach Sankum. Donald Whitehead Jr. picks up his 3rd of the night.
Something's definitely off if Coach Sankum isn't like that at any point in the night.
I normally like to gauge it by how red he is. I'd like to think it. The worst I've ever seen it.
The most red he is, the better the game we're having in away.
No, Slippery Rock away last year was.
Well, yeah, that game was a little on the.
That game, I was very, very certain that Coach Sankum would have to be escorted off by an officer. That game was.
That game was heated.
The game was heated, but it was a loss for the Vulcans. Did not stop them. The Vulcans still ended up winning that next home matchup in the PSAC playoffs. Did not win the finals versus Gannon. But that does not matter now, because right now we're watching a PSAC team and the California Vulcans take on an MEC squad. And a member of that team, Cam Pollock, just went in for a layup, got the layup, and also drew a foul.
A good job by Cam Pollock, continuing to be as physical as possible, able to just pursue the layup, able to get it, put himself in position for the 3-point play. The foul's going to go against Archer. That's his 3rd of the night, so now he's slowly but surely entering into the realm of foul trouble as he gets subbed off for Smith.
Cam Pollock will take the 1 here. Will he make it? Fortunately for him, he will. That sends him up to 18 on the night, 19, excuse me, as Boston has it at the logo. Hands it off to Diop, who puts it over to Wooden, back to Boston. Gives it to Smith at the top of the key. Smith on the far side wing, sends it to the near side of Rickards. Rickards over to Smith, down to Diop. Pollock tries to draw the charge, stolen away by Caden Hanna. Sloppy mess here for the ball. Will be called a jump, I believe.
Coach Sankum yelling out some words.
Mop will come out here. I believe this is going to be Concord's ball. Ball staying down here, so yes. Mountain Lions will have their chance with the ball, but unfortunately for them, they have 4 seconds, so they have to make something of it quick. Corey Boston inbounding the ball. Will look out to Diop. Will not find anything, though. 1 second left. Will not be able to find anything. Don't know if he got that in time.
They're going to say it did.
So then that now makes 78-61 the score. 17-point lead for your Vulcans. 4 minutes and 5 seconds on the clock. Alexander with the ball. Out to Hanna. Over to Pollock. Kicks it back down to Hanna in the paint. Nice spin move. Soft lay-in. And that's 2 points for him.
Yeah, nice move there by Caden Hanna on the spin and the quick floater.
Boston driving down. Outside of the paint, kicks it out to Wooden. Wooden finds Smith on the outside. Smith got tied up with Hanna. It's going to be called a reach-in, I believe, against Hanna. That will be the media timeout here. We're going to send it into commercial here on CUTV Sports 1 and the PSAC Digital Sports Network.
Coach Danny Sancombe and the Vulcans men's basketball is ready to take the conference and the nation by storm this season. A non-conference schedule that starts on November 8th is followed by the PSAC West play in January. Pack the Convocation Center with 13 home games featuring non-conference foes such as Concord, Lincoln, and Wilmington, as well as conference opponents IUP, Gannon, Slippery Rock, Clarion, Edinboro, Seton Hill, and Pitt Johnstown. Follow Cal Vulcans for the all-up-to-date schedule. Catch all the games on YouTube with CUTV Sports 1 and also the PSAC Digital Network.
If you're buzzed and doing this, to make yourself feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive.
Three minutes and 36 seconds remain on the clock here in the Convocation Center in California, Pennsylvania, as the Concord Mountain Lions, unfortunately, not able to find anything really strong here in the second half. The Vulcans have taken a commanding lead. We're now waiting for the Vulcans to get out of their huddle. Even though they have the strong lead, Coach Sankum still has some words for his guys.
Yeah, probably to clean up the messy sequences and the fouls. And I'd like to correct myself from earlier. I was corrected during the media timeout. It is 5 here still in college. It is 6 in the pros to foul out. So that will be why Tolbert went out of the game with 5 fouls and not 6.
Smith waits at the free throw line. Already up to 10 points on the night. Will he find his 11th? Yes, he will. 11 points now. Had to say something. Guess I gave him a bit of good luck. Will I give him good luck again? Let's find out. Yes, I will. 12 points, an even number for him. 80-63 the score. Whitehead brings the ball across the half-court line. It's guarded by Wooden. Over to Pollock, back to Whitehead. Brings it to the near side. Draining more clock. Pollock wanted to take that deep three. Did not find it and just gave it back to Whitehead. Palick instead will take the quick three. Finally hits it for the night. Keith Palick III will hit that three. 20-point lead for the Vulcans. 22 on the night for him. As Boston now has the ball. Kicks it to the wing for Smith. Hot hand will not stay. The ball is rebounded by Hanna. Over to Pollock. And then the offense starts back up again with Donald Whitehead Jr. He will hold it at the top of the key, just trying to kill a bit more time. Wait for his offense to set up. Alexander and Pollock on the wings. Palick in the paint. Hanna, top of the key. Switches with Palick. Screens. Whitehead Jr. drives. And he will find the layup. Don finds 2 extra points. And Boston will have the ball for the Mountain Lions. Kicks it over to Wooden. Looked at the three. Did not find it, though. Boston will instead take that three. Will not find that one. And is rebounded by Hanna. Taken away by Smith. Smith throws it at Hanna. Gives it out of bounds. That possession will be given to White, also known as the Vulcans.
Yeah, it was good effort by Smith to try and just get the ball back, and good awareness to try and hit it off of Hanna's knee or leg just to either force the kickball or just get it out of bounds. But unfortunately, it did touch him as he was going out of bounds, so it will be Vulcan basketball.
Yeah, Boston tried the full court, didn't find anything. Want to put the pressure on for the chance. Going to foul Whitehead. As Josiah Rickards picks up his second. Donald Whitehead Jr. 25 points on the night for him. Donald Whitehead Jr., as previously mentioned, has had himself a pretty good season so far. 18 points per game, 48% from the field, 47% from three. He's averaged 4.6 assists per game. And to go along with it, he's averaged the most minutes. Keandre DeShields will come in for the senior Keith Palick. Uniontown, Pennsylvania product out of Laurel Highlands. Donald Whitehead Jr. makes his shot. Will be taken out of the game. The Don hits his final dagger. Will be replaced by Asim Gunther, sophomore from West Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and Abington Friends. Will pick up Cole Lambert as he passes half-court line. Smith with the ball driving in. Does not find his lay-in. I believe that was DeShields who got contact on the ball as it went out of bounds. So the Mountain Lions will retain possession.
Yeah, with Don and Keith subbing out, that will be their nights over. Keith Palick, 22 points on the night and 14 rebounds, so earning himself that double-double. Don Whitehead, 26 points on the night, so Don had himself a great game tonight. showing up against these Mountain Lions.
And sloppy ball here. Diop is able to recover, though, at the half-court line. Narrowly avoids the half-court. But will be called for it either way, and the ball will go over to the side of the Vulcans. Now Brandon Singleton lines in to check in for Cam Pollock. He will. Duncan Moy also will be checking in for Caden Hanna. So a few new fresh faces you might have not seen here on CUTV Sports 1. We saw Moy and Singleton both play against Penn State Fayette. Moy, the big recruit for this Vulcan squad here out of Kinsman, Ohio. Brandon Singleton, longtime member of the team, senior out of Laurel, Maryland. Seam Gunther gets fouled. Will go to the free throw line. Will miss his first. Diop finds his way back into the game for Archer. No, instead of Archer, they decide to take out Josiah Rickards. 87-63 the score. 1 minute and 44 seconds remain. Bunch of fresh faces out here for the Vulcans. The commanding lead, they can afford to give some guys some playing time. Archer has the ball. Timeout will be called by the Mountain Lions of Concord. And with 1:35 left here, it's a good opportunity for these guys to try out some new stuff and try and improve on what hasn't worked here tonight for the Mountain Lions. And for the Vulcans, it's a chance to see some fresh faces and see if some of the new guys and young guys and even some of the old get some playing time.
Yeah, I mean, at this point now, with the lead you have over Concord, this is the chance now for those fresh faces, those freshmen, those second-string people off the bench, get playing time on the main stage of regular season basketball games, as California is up 87-63 in the double bonus.
It's been a very long day here for us at CUTV Sports 1. Call time for us for the PSAC Championship game being 10:30, and now approaching the 9:30 mark, more closer than not. So after a very long day, it'll be nice to get some rest, and for me, I can tell you I'd love to shower and just lay in bed for a little. Fortunately, though, I have to do some homework, so we'll not get that opportunity. These guys, though, will get that opportunity on their nice ride home. Foul coming in. I believe that's going to go against Delman Alexander. His second of the game. The team's ninth. So no double bonus yet. One foul away. That'll be Diop getting his chance to score an even 6. He will find that chance and will get the opportunity for a 7th now. Diop been relatively quiet this game. Keith Palak III has been able to find a lot in defensive end, as well as the help from Caden Hanna and Donald Whitehead Jr. Made it a lot easier for them. Diop takes his second shot. Will make it. Now DJ Evans will come into the game, subbing out for Dalman Alexander. I almost called him Donald Whitehead Jr. There's some fresh faces going to come out for Concord. John Gabbert, Sam Booth, Brendan Hoffman. I believe Anthony Gilbert is also back in, or Craig Gilbert, sorry. So some familiar faces, and as well as some new ones. Evans hands the ball off to Moy. Over to Singleton, to DeShields. Shields threw down a nice slam dunk against Penn State Fayette, and why not take that deep three? Not find it, though. Rebounded by Gilbert. Hands it off to Gabbert.
1 minute remaining in regulation. 1 minute.
As announced, there's 1 minute remaining in regulation. Archer driving in for the layup. Will find it. 20-point lead for the California Vulcans. As now for DJ, it's just going to be a matter of tearing down this clock. Not for him, though. He wants that bucket. Puts a little too much behind it. Keandre DeShields wanted the putback dunk, and I've seen that guy go far and above the rim. He easily could have gotten it. It's not, though. Instead, it goes to the Mountain Lions. Archer misses his shot, rebounded by Evans, who goes down the court. Finds the bounce this time. That'll be 2 points for him. A lot of zeros on the board for a lot of these fresh guys, but DJ Evans will find 2 points in his favor. Gabbert over to Hoffman. Hoffman over to Booth. Hoffman with it. Finds Gabbert. Screened by Gilbert. Gabbert to Gilbert, who finds points for tonight, has not made a basket so far, and that'll just be dribbling out the clock. The number 6 ranked nationally California Vulcans take a nice commanding 20-point win here at home at the Convocation Center to open up home play. We will see you again this Tuesday as the Vulcans, I believe, take on Virginia State here at home. I have been Nate Kurtz here on the PSAC Digital Sport Network and CUTV Sports 1, joined alongside by Hunter Garman. We will all see you next time